Internet! Yeah! Internet. What's up, Internet? It's Friday. Welcome to the early Friday show. I don't know if anybody shared it out. Hopefully you did. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. It's your prerogative. It's your buttons. It's your buttons to push on your internet machinery. So it's up to you. It's not up to me. You know, if you're going to share it out, you can. If you don't, then you don't have to either. I don't know. This is a zero obligation kind of situation. Up in this mug, it's zero obligation because we are on YouTube where it's free. It's free to come and go as you please. Do what you like. Do what you want. It's your thing. Do what you want to do. Meow. It's your thing. Do what you want to do, because it's Friday. Ah. What's up, Friday people? Let's see who's in the chat today. Philip M. Number 1. Drew Schmidt. Number 2. Foxfire Aquatics. Numero 3. Alyssa Bentley, Eisenclad, Kira Witt, Daniel Scary. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. I know I'm always saying it wrong. Daphne Wood is here. Scottish Aquatics. What's up, my guy? Good to see you in the chat, and good to see you in person. Hopefully you guys like the Scottish Aquatics visits. And speaking of Scottish Aquatics visits, how about Bentley Pascal here? Bentley Pascal visits also. We both went to both of their fish room. There'll be another Bentley Pascal video coming out next week. The part 2 will be coming out next week. And I hope you're all excited for that. What is this weird sound coming from outside? What is that? Sounds like somebody's vacuuming the yard. Hey, man! I don't know. I don't know what that weird sound is. It's coming from outside. It's kind of freaking me out. But Vicky's here. Vicky Toria is here today on a lovely Friday, so maybe it's her. Maybe she's doing something weird, and maybe she's vacuuming the yard. I don't know. She is pregnant. Maybe she is vacuuming the yard. Wouldn't be the first time. Heather Nielsen from Scarlet Aquatics is here. Good to see you. Super Bear Cow coming out. Zombie Drummer is lurking because he's at work. So I'm sorry to hear that. That's just reality of life sometimes. We all got to work. That's why I'm here. I'm here to do some work and let you guys know what's up with your Patreon questions, because it is Friday, and that's when we do it. Johan S. is here. Hanpan is here. Robert Amazuka. Amazukua. I don't know how to say your last name, and I just showed how lame I am. I'll figure it out one of these days. Crystal Harrison is here. Smeel Kapoor, good to see you. Fish Girl from Connecticut, good to see you. Smeel Kapoor says, it's a good time for me, 9 p.m. here, and good way to wait for the moon eclipse. Ooh, the moon eclipse, that's coming up. Also, get out your telescopic lenses because the Mars is going to be super close, you guys. the 31st, I think. 31st will be the day that Mars is super close, and everyone will be super excited and be looking out up into the sky in the middle of the night and try and get some action shots of Mars flying by. Wushu Jimmy Brown is here. Jad Orsi, Jason Brady, Matt Sorelli. I almost always get that wrong. Matt Sorelli, good to see you. Madfish Diva is here. Drew Driftwood, good to see you. Big Pedro. If I missed your name, sorry, it's not on purpose, but I got to scroll down to catch up to the live chat. Let everybody know what's going on. Okay, says, can I keep one discus in 10? I'm guessing one discus in a 10-gallon. No, I wouldn't recommend it. No, personally, I wouldn't. I would go with minimum for like a one discus, or even just like a little pair would be like a 20 long. Probably a 40 breeder is probably what I would realistically recommend for one or two discus. Personally, they need that swimming space. It doesn't seem like they need that swimming space, but they really do. Eisenclad says, no, not the sun. You guys, it has been super hot. I know there are hotter places in the world, and I guess people would wonder why the early stream on Friday. I'm trying to mix it up, try to keep you guys on your toes, let you all know that this could come, this could go, it could be any time. You know, you got to be on your toes, which means you got to turn on your notification bell, I guess, right? But some changes might be in the works. But speaking of hotter places in the world, that's where we're going this weekend. It is going to be so hot. It is going to be so super duper duper hot where we're going. We're going to Eastern Washington, where it'll be 100 billion degrees. Here, it's only 90 billion degrees, and it's going to be totally crazy. But we're going over there to visit my mother, so it should be pretty fun because we'll be able to eat some good dinners, some good hangout time, take the dogs and all that fun stuff, and head out that way. And, you know, have some fun for a day or two and go visit my mother. Jason Brady says it's supposed to be 107 in the Tri-Cities. Yeah, it's going to be hot over there. It's supposed to be 95 here, so 105 over there. Pretty much about the same thing. It's going to be totally bonkers hot, but that's just the way that it's going, you know? Does it have anything to do with climate change? Maybe. I don't know. It's July. It's almost August, so I guess it's supposed to be hot. I don't know. It's weird. Aquarium Adventures is here. What's up, my man? Good to see you. Thanks for coming out. Good to see Aquarium Adventures around. If you haven't seen some of his videos, he's been getting a lot of backlash from the internet for certain criticisms of certain creators out there, which, hey, if they're justifiable criticisms, I think we should all be happy to accept those things and not necessarily lash out at people if they happen to have an opinion-based criticism, which, hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate people vocalizing some of the things that they got. Now, if you come on and tell me I'm ugly and I smell bad, I could do something about the smell bad, so that would be a criticism, like, hey, dude, maybe take a shower, which I did, so hopefully I don't smell bad now. But if I'm just ugly, hey, what are you talking about? What's the deal with that? What am I supposed to do? Recently, I got a criticism on the internet in regards to, I don't understand why such a beautiful woman would be with such a disgusting dude. And I was like, I don't know. You'd have to ask Vicky. You'd have to ask Vicky because I don't understand it either. I don't understand it, Vicky. Oh, she's in the other room. She's yelling back, but I don't know what she's saying. But much love to Aquarium Adventures and everybody out there. Just take your creative vision and run with it. Always good times. You know, and like I watched his video and I was like, yeah, I could see where he's coming from totally. So I don't think it was mean or ill. I don't think it was like ill-natured or anything. I think it was just, you know, like speaking your opinion. That's all good. Daniel Scary is here saying, "Oh my God, because I'm a baller." That's right, because I'm just such a blinged out baller. You know, like just going totally crazy. you know. But I do have some really good news for you guys that I want to pass on to you guys and possibly get some feedback on it. Let me know what you think about what may or may not be coming down the pipe, because I did get an awesome email this morning that, by the way, you guys, is going to be, I think, exciting. Do you think it's going to be exciting? It's going to be an exciting thing. I think it's going to be exciting, and I'm excited for it. And I received the confirmation email this morning going back to Germany, you guys. I'm going back to Germany. In 1 month's time, we shall be headed back to Germany, and I'm going to drag Koopy himself, Mr. Corby from Aquarium Co-op. We are headed back out there. Super awesome. This is going to be an awesome trip, you guys. I'm going to do everything I can to get all of the cool video of all some cool stuff in Germany. We'll be going to Stuttgart and Frankfurt. That's where we will be. It's going to be an awesome trip as far as I'm concerned. We're going to get behind-the-scenes look at a lot of the facilities and things of like the products that we use, you guys. This is going to be really cool. I'm very excited for it. And we got the confirmation email this morning, and it's awesome. We are on. The appointments are made. Things are happening, and to be brutally honest with you guys, I'm super excited. I'm super excited. I'm very chill about it right now because we were super busy today already, and it's hot out, and I'm kind of mellow, but very excited to be going back to Germany to hopefully get some really cool stuff for you guys. I know that last time we were there, the Interzoo things and that kind of stuff isn't necessarily like super exciting to you guys. I know that wasn't that exciting. The convention itself was kind of closed off for against the fans. You know what I mean? So the fans are the fans really weren't there, and it wasn't really geared towards fans. It was more geared towards people buying stuff or whatever. So it was kind of cool. It was good to get some of the footage and get that out to you guys, but I don't know that it was super engaging to you guys. But this next trip should be super engaging. The appointments and stuff that we have. Philip M. says, Oliver Knott meetup. I would not put it past Oliver Knott probably making an appearance. There are some... when we were in Vegas, we actually did a meetup, and we actually shot some kind of show. I'm not really sure what the show is with Oliver Knott when we were in Vegas, so that'll be coming out fairly soon. Hopefully that will come out at some point in time, and you guys will be able to check that out on the YouTubes. As far as I know, last time I checked in on that, they're still editing it together, so... but I look forward to that thing coming out. It was me and it was myself, Chris Lukup, Oliver Knott, and Corey from Aquarium Co-op. So pretty fun shoot, pretty fun show. So hopefully you guys will be able to check out that stuff. Carson says it's 110 degrees in eastern Washington. At least it's dry. Yeah, but it's also a desert, so it's radiating. It radiates heat up in your face. It's just all over. It's all over. So Eastern Washington's pretty crazy. Meat Man hasn't heard any surprises in a minute. We do have a surprise coming today, and it will be in the form of a shout out to Caleb. So you guys get your surprises ready, because you guys have to join in on that. You guys have to join in on the surprises. We're gonna give a shout out to our buddy Caleb, who is down in Denver right now, getting some extra treatment for his leukemia. He's got some leukemia-based complications going on with pneumonia and things, and we might as well, we're going to give him a shout-out, but I want to get to the 10-minute. We're 14 minutes in, so never mind. I was going to say we want to get to the 10-minute mark before we do that, but... either way. Daniel Scary says, Interzoo was good inspiration for my planet tank. Yes, I thought Interzoo was a lot of inspiring for me, too. But I just didn't think the content was really there, because there wasn't very much of, like, getting in depth with the things that were going on. So I'm excited for this Germany trip that's coming up, because it's going to be a lot more focused on bringing stuff to you guys. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. It's going to be it's going to be pretty wild. There's a lot going on. Aquatic Jack says, you set the bar so high last trip. Really looking forward to the next trip. Yes, we did collect moon rocks with Luke Up. Just be aware that Luke Up will be in Germany with us. So we will be doing a bunch of stuff with him and checking out some pretty darn cool stuff that I'm pretty excited for. But before we get to the main focus of the Friday show, the Patreon stuff, I just want to remind you guys that, hold on, where's my link? Oh, no, you guys, I don't have my link ready. What happened? Where'd it go? Oh, here we are, and we got to just give it a little copy, give it a little paste here. All right, so the guy Caleb I was talking about, he's our #1 fan. This is our biggest fan ever. I just linked the GoFundMe for Caleb down there. I'm not saying you necessarily need to donate to him or anything like that. I would appreciate it if you guys do. At the very least, get on there, leave a comment, throw a share out there, send some prayers, some well-wishing, keep them in your thoughts. There's a lot of complications going on. He's been fighting for years now with the leukemia, and it's been pretty rough, and he's got some pneumonia and things right now. They've had to airlift him down to Colorado. And just to give a shout out to our boy Caleb, I want you guys to, here we go. You got to hit the caps lock. Oh, I don't even know how to type anymore. This keyboard drives me nuts. It seems like the keys are in the wrong. It seems like the keys are in the wrong spot on this thing. There. All right. I don't know what it is about this keyboard. I think it's just in the wrong spot. And, yeah, there we go. So, I want you guys to, here we go. I put it in right there. You can just even copy and paste what I typed in. We're going to give our little moment of silence. And I'm going to count down with my fingers from 4, I think. How does that go? Can I do it? Not accidentally flip the bird. We're going to give out a big old surprises for my man Caleb down there. We're all going to type it in all at the same time. So gear up, get it ready into your chat bar, and we're going to put it out there. We're going to give a moment of silence. We're going to think about, send out some good vibes, prayers, whatever you want to call them. We're going to think about our buddy out there, our #1 fan, Mr. Caleb Overhauls himself. And so we're just going to be quiet here for a second. Surprises! Hopefully that message will get out to our man Caleb. Let him know that we're all thinking about him. And, just let him know that we all love him very much. But nobody did it except for me. So it feels all right. It feels all right. All right, here we go. Okay, moving on to the next part. I got to click the buttons here. Oh, there we go. It was all my chat's like on rain delay over here. Oh. Well, my chat was on rain delay. You guys did good. Thank you very much. All right. So the main focus of the show today is it's a Friday show, which means it's a Patreon show. We get on and we answer the questions from the Patreon. Now, the reason why we do it this way, the reason why I do it this way is I feel like this is a much more engaging way to be able to answer some of the questions on here and get our questions out there, get our questions out, and be able to fully explain what's going on. Now, I understand that there are a lot of people out there that don't necessarily have the ability to be on the Patreon and kick in anything. I understand. That doesn't That doesn't mean I don't try to answer your guys' questions. I really do try to answer them from the chat or from the later on comments put down below. You can always send me an email if that is a great way for you to communicate also. But the patronizers are the reason that I'm even able to do this show at this point. As you guys know, you guys just crush YouTube revenue, all that stuff. It's just annihilated. And it's because you guys are all down for $1, $5, $10 a month, whatever it is. It's just a once a month thing. I get it. It's weird. I feel like I'm doing the NPR drive whenever I talk about Patreon on here. And I know people start yawning and unsubscribing and all that kind of stuff. I get it. But the Friday show is dedicated to the Patreon people because just the crowdfunding altogether is what allows us to do this. And it also gives us an opportunity to really get some insight into people's questions and stuff, because water parameters are always an issue. Not being able to see what people are kind of trying to describe into the chat as the chat goes flying by. It's like, if I have somebody that's like, my puffer's not eating, and then it's like going by and I'm trying to answer. And as you guys noticed from the surprises earlier, the delay in the chat just means that it's very difficult to try and go back and forth to somebody in the chat. I see Aqua Pros showing up with some hearts in there. And somebody was asking earlier about Aqua Pros if I was going to be heading out to help him move his tanks. I've not been requested to help him move tanks and things. So we'll see. I don't know. I mean, he didn't ask me to help him move anything or anything like that. We just normally talk about, kittens farting and stuff like that. Like just the normal things that people talk about, like little kitty cats. Little kitty cats' flatulence. Just normal stuff. Speaking of Aqua Pros, I do have a video coming out from having visited him in a little while. But, it'll come out. You guys will see it. It might be good. It might be bad. I don't know. I realize my editing skills are not quite up to par to my man Jimmy. So I got really high expectations of myself. And somebody was asking earlier, what happened to the Mr. Browns? I must admit, our boy Kobe the other day got back from Peru. And he had to go to the store the other day, and he bought me some Mr. Browns. I don't even know where to get them at this point. I've looked all around down here in the South End. I don't know where to get them. And I was just getting them from Amazon, and now Amazon's not carrying them for some reason. Probably something to do with tariffs or some nonsense. And but in the meantime, no tip of the hat to my man Koopy out there. From the Aquarium Co-op. If you want to go out to the Aquarium Co-op and buy something, feel free. Love those guys. Good guys, good products. Vetted by the dude himself. So, but pretty excited to have a little Mr. Browns here on a Friday, if you know what I mean. So, but our boy Bentley Pascal sent in a lovely picture of a little glance into his plant grow out tank before a huge trim this weekend. There's a big plant swap trade thing this weekend, which I'm going to be missing because I'll be out and about visiting my mom's. Sorry, guys. Vicky and I got to go visit Grandma. Oh, soon-to-be Grandma. Sorry. Soon-to-be Grandma's house. She's not really a grandma yet, but she's going to be a grandma pretty soon. Hey, you got a baby growing in there? I think Vicky's still got a baby growing in there. She got checked up yesterday from El Doctor, and the baby's doing good. Baby's doing about as good as these robust plants right here. This baby be growing fast and furious and doing karate moves inside my lovely lady's belly. It's going pretty good. I'm excited for the baby. Baby's coming, and I'm excited. I'm excited, you guys. I'm excited to be a dad. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, and that baby's going to poop on me and vomit and do all that crazy good stuff and cry in my face. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited to be a dad. I'm excited to have somebody to share stuff with all the time. And, they'll be the first, 2 years. She just can't get bored of me. After that, I understand I'll be a big snore fest to my daughter. But in the first 2 years, I could just be yapping at her all day long, and it's going to be great. And then after that, she's going to start to realize how dumb I am and then be like, excuse me, Dad, I've got other things to do. And I'm going to be like, it's weird. You're 2. Oops. But we've got Derek chiming in with painting the back of the tanks. He's setting up a fish room and just bought 12 20-gallon tanks from the Petco $1 per gallon sale, which is dope. Nice move. I like that. You guys go in for the $1 a gallon sale if you can. There just really isn't a better deal out there as far as tanks go. If you're gonna buy some new ones, anything up to the 40 breeder, you know, you're not really gonna find a better deal out there for a brand new one. And he's asking, I was thinking about using Plasti-Dip paint to the back of the tanks. Any thoughts? And Derek says, thanks, you answered it on the live chat, because he did pop in. He popped in right after posting this up and was asking in the chat, and I happened to answer it. Yes, Plasti-Dip or Flex Seal. Those are going to be the 2 options that you will probably find if you go to your local hardware store. I recommend them both. They work fine. Just get the roller type. Don't try to do the spray paint thing. I know that people out there are trying to do it with the spray paint stuff. It just don't work that great. You end up using a ton of it, basically, is what it boils down to. So you don't want it to, you don't want to waste a bunch of product. You don't want to spray a bunch of aerosols that you don't need to spray when you could easily use a roll-on. The spray type is cool if you're trying to put a coat on something with a crazy texture to it or whatever, but you still will use a lot of it to try and change from one color to another. So I would definitely recommend the roller type. I found that you get a lot better use out of it, a lot better coverage out of it that way. Kira Witt says, 3 daughters, oldest is 8, daddy is still her superhero. No matter how much of a goofball he is, you'll be good. Oh, I think I'll still be a superhero. I just don't think I'll just be a boring superhero. You know? Like, this guy's boring. Gosh. So he's talking about shrimp and fish and plants and stuff. My kid's going to be listening to drum and bass or some weird music. Luckily, I feel like I'm going to be pretty in touch with that kind of stuff because I do listen to a lot of new music and stuff, but the one hope I have is that she's just not into the mumble rap. That's the only thing I'm hoping. That's the only thing I'm hoping, like Tekashi 6ix9ine and stuff like that. I hope she's not into that nonsense. But that's a long ways off, so either way, it'll be all right. James H. says, my daughter is 28, and she's still daddy's little girl. All right. Matt Sorelli says, Plasti-Dip sucks so bad, don't use it. Well, I have found the Flexi Seal and Plasti-Dip to be quite effective as compared to the boat paint I used to use. I used to use boat paint that was rated and was like $80 a gallon, something like that. No, $115 a gallon. So in comparison, if you spend a couple of $5 bills compared to $115, I think it works out pretty well. And you can remove it later on. You can peel it off with a razor blade, and it comes right off, and not a problem. But so Matt Sorelli, sorry you had bad experience with it, but I found it to be working out pretty good. Steve Horton chiming in has got himself a new piece of Mopani wood that's going to replace the rocks in his tank. And look at that. It is already dumping down some tannins. He's got it soaking in a bucket. But by the way, you guys, I, as you know, like to just throw my Mopani wood in there. I like the tannins. I need the tannins. I need more tannins, you guys. I need tannins all the time. Especially in the Rummy Nose Tetra tank. I definitely need a lot of tannins in there to keep that going on a regular basis. And Mopani wood's a great source for it. But the 240 now, if you look at it, it's just clear as day. Like I put a lot of almond leaves in there. It colors up, and it just cycles through it super fast. So if everybody, people are real concerned about the tannins being in the water, it won't be there for very long. It won't be like a long-term thing, so don't be too stressed out about that. I find that I just completely skipped the pre-soak the pre-soaked deal these days. But that is a nice looking piece of Mopani. It's got some real good character to it and some good coloring. I always love Mopani, I guess. I don't know what's wrong with me. I like wood, though. It's one of my favorite things. Steve Horton also chiming in, said, couldn't help myself and had to put it in after the last show. If you notice to the left, that pesky red plastic plant is gone. Yes! Congratulations! Congratulations, my good man. He's removed the plastic plant. After the valve fills out more, I will start looking for some more, for some red plants to fill out the tank. I'm digging it. Just remember, you got to have a little more iron, a little more light. Make sure that you can sustain some red plants in there, and that'll be the good deal. Kevin Rosenberg says, your rummy nose tank is king. It's coming along, you know. I'm kind of digging where it's at right now, but it's starting to turn into a disaster. You know, it's starting. So I'm really considering a rescape after I build the. I'm rebuilding the room. You guys know I got a new 120 that's going in there, and some other stuff, which that begins on Monday, I think, barring any other. Getting hired for some other jobs. You guys know I've been burning the candle at both ends. I've been picking up every job I possibly can to go out and try and be able to stay on YouTube, realistically. I don't have a better way to put it at this point. I've just been working, doing every kind of crazy job I can find out in this crazy hot weather. Mr. Chips, are you okay? Mr. Chips just sitting over there being weird. Oh, now he's doing dog stuff. Hey, man. What are you doing? There's Beatty Browns. Beatty Browns has been here the whole time. Sneak the puppy. But I've been out there just hammering away, doing what I can to basically stay on YouTube, being able to stay on YouTube. Which just seems like a goofy thing to say, but you know, honestly, it's the truth. Just kind of getting to the point where, you know, was doing some of the financial breakdown stuff the other day, and I realized I've been running for a long time at a deficit. So I've been picking up every job, trying to do what I can. So if I do miss some shows coming up in August, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up. If that does happen, that's what's going on. So, but Bentley says, tannins help naturally fight off bacteria and fungal issues in fish. So yes, definitely is a good deal. Steve Pope says, you thinking about a rescape? No, I'm always changing stuff, you know. I can't leave him alone for very long. I just can't leave him alone for very long. I think that's it. I think that's my email right there. Oh, Licks Nibbles, dang it, I'm late. Just got the ding. You just got the notification at 12:36. Okay, thanks YouTube. YouTube doing a good job, you know, notifying people and stuff like that out here in the summer. Maybe the servers got too hot. Maybe that's the deal. Kyra Wittenauer. Kira. I keep saying Kira, and I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Kira Witt with the there's no force in the universe that's stronger than the force that holds 5-gallon pails together. I will give you guys a little bit of insight. There is a little trick that you can do here in order to get these 5-gallon buckets apart. So if you come down here right near the bottom, if you just cut a little hole down there, they'll come right apart. They'll just come right apart, and you'll be fine after that. They won't get stuck together anymore. You just want to make sure you drill a little tiny hole down there, you know? Just to let some air in, you know, so that seal pops apart. Somebody's gonna get mad at me. They're like, it's gonna leak water out of it. Like, yeah, that's kind of the joke. But yes, buckets are impossible to get apart. It's a nightmare. You just need real strong fingers. Like me. You just need real strong rock climbing fingers. Pete Berlinski with a question mark says, is it just me that can't see anyone's photos here on my iPhone? Then we had a lot of follow-ups. We got a bunch of follow-ups. People saying they can't do it, they can't do it, they can't do it. And then it says it's something to do with the app. If I go to Patreon via the web browser, I can see everyone's photos and also uploads of photos if I want, which I could not do directly from the app. Yes, this is one of the slight things that everybody keeps yelling at Patreon for is, dude, what's the deal? Why is it not working on iPhones? So on your iPhone, you have to go into the iPhone app on, what is it, the web browser. You have to go to the app on the web browser, and then you're able to see all the pictures, post pictures, and all that kind of stuff. And, that will be that's the easiest way to do it. That's the way that it works. So a little bit of a trick. I always use the desktop, so I'm like, I don't really have these problems. It always works really good. But hopefully that clears it up for you, Pete. We had a lot of people chiming in and helping you out. Daniel Scary, busting out, says, hey, everybody, I hope you're all having a great day. Here's 2 of 3 of the new rimless 20-gallon tanks I bought. Building a wooden rack to hold 3 of them. It's really just an excuse to build something. We'll update the progress and show how it turns out. Stay cool, people. Well, I do have to admit, these Petworks rimless tanks actually are pretty good looking. I don't know. Maybe at some point in time I'll have to give myself some rimless tanks too, and then I can be cool also. But I am excited to see how this goes, and I do know that later in the post here, you guys will get to see the rack that he built. Do 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 do. Please hold. Oh, sorry about that, guys. I've been doing so much work outside. I feel like I constantly have allergies now, and I had to blow my nose. It's full. My nose is full of dirt. Went outside early today and built a new chicken fence for the chickens. Completely unhappy with how it came out. I'll be fixing it, and I'll probably make a video of me fixing it, pointing out how much it sucked the first time I did it. But either way, I was doing that this morning, so that's what's going on. Sarah's Little Fish said, hey guys, can't find the fish tank I want for housing multiple betas, so I was considering making one myself. Found a company that cuts plexiglass to the size you want and polishes it, so I would only have to silicone it together. Is plexiglass safe to use for an aquarium, and how thick would it have to be? I'm planning on 1,000 millimeter length and 250 millimeter wide and 300 millimeter high, approximately 39 by 10 by 12, with dividers every 200 millimeters, 8 inches apart. Thanks and advice would be great. Thank you. All right. So, it depends on what you mean by plexiglass. Now, do you mean that you actually got some acrylic sheets? Do you have the stuff cut? Is it going to be pre-cut and you're just going to be assembling it? First of all, you don't want to silicone acrylic ever. You don't really want to do that. Even sometimes, you know, I've siliconed acrylic in as like a baffle inside of a sump, but that's not like a load-bearing situation or anything like that. But you cannot silicone acrylic pieces together and have them hope to hold up like a glass tank would. It does not work that way. It does not work great. If you mean acrylic, you could, I mean, obviously people build acrylic tanks all the time. You guys know that I employed a specific tank builder locally to do some of the build, the large acrylic tank I needed. You know, is it possible that I can do it? Yes, I know how to do it. I know how to do all that stuff. But I'm not that great at it. I don't have a lot of reps at building acrylic tanks. I've built lots of glass tanks. I've built lots of glass sumps and stuff like that. Personally, what I would recommend in this situation, if you were going to be building this, I would look into doing, you know, if you're comfortable with the silicone, I would just build this out of glass. A local glass shop will be able to cut these pieces for you and polish the edges and all that kind of stuff for you. You can have them pre-cut it for you, and it will probably be cheaper than the any kind of plexiglass or acrylic being pre-cut and polished, then so you'll save a little bit of money there, and you could silicone the thing together and be comfortable if that's where your comfort area is. If your comfort area is in siliconing things together, and that's what you wanted to do. The acrylic, silicone just does not bond to acrylic the same way it does to glass or tile or any of that kind of stuff. It doesn't bond the way it should. It doesn't create a good bond, and it doesn't create a good seal, and any kind of stress and pressure against it will end up separating it apart. So you could get all the acrylic pieces cut, and you could acrylic weld them together and make your own tank. There's a good chance it will come out looking kind of funky if it's the first time you've ever done it. If you really want to do it, you can, and I wouldn't I wouldn't say no. But I would definitely look into like Tap Plastics, and a couple other people have how-to videos out there to give you some tips and pointers and stuff like that. But I think if silicone is where you're comfortable, I would recommend just building it out of glass. It will be, the learning curve is a lot lower. The accident rate is much lower, and cure time is way easier to figure out with glass and silicone and building it that way. So I think my personal advice would be to go with the glass and just have a local place cut and polish the glass for you. But if it's 39 by 10 inches tall by 12 inches tall, yeah, you could make it that way. And plexiglass is safe for use in an aquarium, but it really depends on what you mean by plexiglass. If you mean acrylic sheet or polycarbonate sheet, those are the two that I would use. Plexiglass is sort of like a street name. It's kind of like the street name for acrylic sheet or polycarb, depends on what you want to use. So what I would recommend if I was going to build this personally, I would just build it out of glass. It's much more easier to deal with. It sounds like it's scarier, but it's not. It's actually less scary. It's much easier to deal with and actually get adhered into place. It's pretty straightforward. So that's the way I would go with that beta house, that beta tank that you're building. I know I recently looked at some really cool designs for some beta tanks, and they were ridiculously expensive. So I think I would personally, if I got back into beta breeding again, I would build something myself too, and I would probably build it personally out of glass. Although maybe I would do it out of acrylic. I don't know what I would do, but I would think that when I started building tanks, I started building them out of glass because it was, the tank builders I talked to, they were like, this is the recommended path. Like, start with glass. Once you get comfortable with glass, you'll be so much more used to what you're doing and how to do it and all that kind of stuff. Hey, babe. Hey, you being sneaky in the background? I think there's a mosquito in my ear. What? Some kind of bug attacked me. Are you over there walking in the spider webs? Vicky's here, and she's walking in the spider webs. What is in my ear? It's like a mosquito flew in my ear. It's trying to kill me. It's trying to commit murder. But all the tank builders that I dealt with many years ago, they gave me the same recommendation that I'll give to you, is to start out building some glass tanks and move up from there. Because and if you were to purchase a beta breeding tank, the ones that I found recently were so cost prohibitive, like they were so expensive that it was like, are you sure? Did you just say that number? Oh, yeah, it was something like $3,600 or something crazy like that, and I was like, I could buy a whole bunch of other aquariums for $3,600, so never mind. I'm going to slowly back up and walk away. That's pretty much how that went down. So I would just go with glass. I think it'll be the easiest way to do it. Oh, Kelly Peterson. Her shrimp army is growing. I've hit the point where I need to set up a second tank to start removing the B team and keeping my really game strong. Some of the younger ones don't seem to be developing the pattern well, though we do have a few real gems in the youngins too. That is awesome. You guys know I love Really shrimp. You guys know I love shrimp. And I'm a big fan of Really shrimp too. They're up there on my list. Though I have to be brutally honest, not high up, but let's be honest, the shrimp list is way higher than most other things. And the Really shrimp, I really dig. These are some great examples of some orange ones. They look pretty good, but yeah, I can see that you got some of the young ones down here that just don't have the coloring. And I will remind people, you know, the years and years that I spent dealing with shrimp colonies and stuff, it is always a good idea to have some extra tanks set up for the cull shrimp that you can move over. But I wouldn't completely bail out on the cull shrimp. I would continue to take care of the cull shrimp tank just the same way, because sometimes what you'll find is that the cull shrimp will throw some beautiful babies down the line. That is something that definitely does come up quite often. It won't be as high a percentage from your the really high grade ones that you have, but they will throw some pretty good looking shrimp from time to time. And if you're prepared and ready to just scoop them out and get them added in, then you're going to be like right on track. It's definitely going to be right on track. So Daniel Scary with the follow-up on his tank stand build. And I do have to tell you something. I like this tank stand build. This is quite creative. I like the over-under style of it. I really do like it, and he's actually got the 45 angled feet on here. I think if this stand gets wrapped, you know, a little wrap on here and some router work, this thing will look like a gem, a shining gem in a world of ugly aquarium stands. This thing will shine like a diamond. But I'm glad to see the update. I definitely like it. The 3-tier 20-gallon tank stand built, very stable with added feet. Couldn't be happier. Just needs painting and good to go. He's just gonna paint it like that. Sad now it's done though. Need to find something else to get my build on. May have to build some 40-gallon tanks, or may have to buy some 40-gallon tanks to build another one. Just have to make it a bit different with more reinforcement. Hope everybody's having the best day. I hope everyone's having the best day too. I'm loving digging this stand. Okay, I get it. You just painted it the way that it is, and you're going to go that route. Okay. I'm interested in getting some wrap and some router work and a little bit of sanding, maybe some coloring, maybe some trim. Come on now. We might as well. If we're going to go all the way, we might as well go all the way. Yeah. Enix Sound just popped in and said, I just bought 6 Amanos to help fight my algae problem. I only bought 6 with the hope that they'll breed. I need to start doing research before I buy it. They need brackish water to breed. Yes, I have gone into the Amano shrimp breeding questions quite a few times. It is an extremely laborious process with a whole bunch of tanks with different salinities in them. So, I don't necessarily recommend trying to breed Amano shrimp if I were me. It's not even if I were you. It's not even if I were you. I mean, if I were me. I've bred them before, and it is a nightmare. And I'll admit it, in my youth, I thought, man, I'm going to be the Amano shrimp breeder guy. And it's going to be awesome. And everyone's going to come to me for Amano shrimps. And I'm going to have them all over the place. And I'm going to have so many Amano shrimps that everyone's going to be ordering Amano shrimp from me all the time. And then I went and, you know, eventually later on trying to sell them to stores and stuff like that, you do realize that they buy them for like 10 cents a piece or something. Yeah. So my recommendation to everybody out there, just buy some Amano shrimp and give them an awesome life. They will get buried with eggs. They will release their eggs. Things will eat their eggs. It's not a big deal. Just let them live a cool life where they get to eat and scramble around and do awesome shrimp stuff. And just enjoy them. Just enjoy them, because breeding them is a nightmare. Daniel, with a little additional picture here for us to get to check out how it's set up. Look at this. He's got his perfectly level from this to this. I dig that. I like being able to see that. I don't know what's going on here at the top, but I'm thinking that if Daniel was saying that he needed something else to build, I would think of building an extension right across here so you have a nice hood that matches this. That's what the next thing I would build if I was Daniel. I would build a piece that goes, a nice little hood piece that goes on here, attaches to that, and then clears up this line of sight. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. But I'm a rude boy, you know, sometimes. So dumb. Clint. Oh no, he told me how to say his name. Roan? I don't know. I'm saying his last name wrong probably, but it says, "Hey everyone, what kind of deficiency is killing my Anubias? It is from a big blue It's from a big blue pet store, so I'm unsure of the variety. It's been in the tank a couple of months. Other than the hair algae, everything else is doing fine. Val and another box store. Echinodoras. It looks like the problem is creeping up from the rhizome. You got yourself a problem here. A lot of people chimed in and saying that it looks like it might be too deep in the substrate, this and that. To be honest with you guys, I think this looks like rhizome rot. You know, so just a quick backstory. There is an Anubias disease that is going around that only affects Anubias, so don't worry about your fish or your shrimp or any of that stuff. It's not like a communicable disease, but there is basically a rot that is going around to a lot of Anubias out there, and this looks to be the case for that. How I would treat this, I would just continue to make sure that you have enough fertilizers and availability of uptake for the plant in its situation and see what you can do, because antifungals don't work, antibiotics don't work, you know, Melifix, Pimifix, anything, whatever, you know, you just go down the long laundry list. People have been trying all sorts of stuff and it just hasn't been working out. This looks like the Anubias rot. It's what it might be. But my best advice to you in the same situation is if you had like an unhealthy fish, just provide it with the healthiest environment that you can put it in. And it sounds like you pretty much are from the explanation of what you got going on. It says I lost an Anubias gold coin and an Anubias nana petite, which had died. But that presented with a white fuzz mold that killed the plant in a couple of days. This has been a slow process. First, the leaves yellowed at the base. Now the rhizome is losing color. Yeah, I would, you know, from this picture, this looks like rhizome rot from what I've seen. Aquastress says, oh, no, is this disease contagious over the live stream? It might be. You might have been infected. If you get infected, you might become one of the oceaneers. That's the only disease that you might get around here. That could be happening. You know, you might end up becoming one of the oceaneers. That might be it. You know, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm doing my due diligence here to try and build a community as best I can. I don't know. I feel like I'm outmatched and outnumbered sometimes. I just don't have enough time to like edit my website and all that kind of stuff. But I'm doing the best I can, and hopefully we just keep growing and stuff. So maybe that's the disease people could catch. You become an oceaneer, just like J.H. Aquatics, who just showed up, just returned from Peru. Very excite, very wow. Oh, saying no. It's early in Australia. Yeah, I think Australia, it's like 4 a.m. or something crazy like that. It's like 4 a.m. tomorrow, I think. I don't know. But Clint, I would definitely just keep maintaining your nitrate and a little bit of fertilizer in there. Your light being on for 6 hours is pretty good. He's just using a little bit of Easy Green once a week. Yep. That's just pretty much what I would do. I would just continue to keep that tank as healthy of an environment and see how well you can get along. Bonus question: should I use less light to help with a little hair algae or some other root? I would dial about an hour back off of your lights. Anything less than Anything less than 5 hours, though, is not beneficial for your plants. So make sure that that's kind of the cutoff point. You could continue with the 6-7 hours, but just maybe dim the light a little bit, maybe move it a little bit away, just so you're not getting so much direct contact. Almost all of the hair algae are basically from light just hitting a surface. That almost always is what creates that spot where it's good for it to grow. So that's basically what I would do. Johan coming in big with the fish of the week, man. This guy has the ultimate fish collection, I think. It's like the ultimate fish collection. It's wild, man. He sends in a thing every week that is just like, oh. He's got the Sema Prochalatus insignis, which I am pretty I'm pretty up on the Prochalatus, and this one is pretty rare. But that's a great community fish, as he says, a great community of medium to large fish. He's very small at the moment, but a lot of fun to raise them. They will get pretty big. But they're not really that aggressive to other species and stuff, as he points out. Just an amazing fish. I really like this picture, too. This is, like, kind of perfectly in focus right on the face. We got a little bokeh going towards the tail. I like it. I like that picture, and I like that fish. I'm just brutally honest. And just every week, he's always sending me he's always putting in some cool fish. Luke Locken's got a bit of an issue, though. Says, so Joel, you're right that Anubias didn't make it. I have taken out some of the sand and replaced it with Eco-Complete. I did a 90% water change and took out all the plants out and removed any dead or dying leaves or roots. This was all done on Monday night. It's Wednesday today, and my Aponogeton has this growth on it. Plants are a lot hardier than I thought. There are no fish, and I used some easy green. Thanks for all your help. I love seeing that. Aponogeton, you guys, I never give up on those. I never give up on those. They are almost always like, I think it might probably grow again, even if it is just like most people would give up on it. Most people would give up on it, and I'm like, nah, I think I'll just plant it back here in the back somewhere and see if it makes a wild appearance later. Although I would recommend anybody to not do this right here. And I shall highlight it. Don't do a 90% water change if you change a bunch of stuff out. Try to space out and parse out those water changes. So try to do like 30% the first time, 30% later in the week, then 30% on the weekend, then 30%. Try to gradually do that stuff. It will kind of wildly throw things out of balance when you do gigantic water changes like that. The only time it's really appropriate to do those giant water changes is realistically like a discus breeding facility and stuff like that, where they do giant water changes. But I definitely don't recommend it for our little ecosystems here. All right, hold on a second. We've got some super chats, you guys. We got to hit Aqua Stress with the Australian $5.99. Says, cheeky little tip jar top up for the Papa Bear Jolio. Well, thank you very much. This would be the Grandpa Dad coming at you live on the internet. It's Grandpa Dad, and he's got a tape measure. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Mr. Hepner, 1814, with the $4.99 diaper fund, just kicking in on the diaper fund. Thank you very much, my guy. I appreciate it. We do have a baby registry somewhere where, which was super cool because I still have my little notes right here from Josh Peters. Thank you very much. And Sasha Locken. Oh, and, Luke and Sasha Locken. Thank you very much, you guys. I appreciate it. It's so cool. It's cool to be like, dude, I'm in a part of a community and people are like excited for my baby too, which I don't know, man. It just seems pretty rare to me that like people would be like excited for me to have a baby. Well, I mean, Vicky's having the baby. I'm going to be the dad. So I don't have to give birth to it or anything. I don't have to do any of the hard work. I just get to do the cool stuff, like clean up messes and get up in the middle of the night and that kind of stuff, like cool dad stuff, you know, which is cool, you know, because I'm gonna be dad guy, grandpa dad action. Derek throwing down. Oh my gosh. New tanks. Any suggestions how to filter and light? They are all 20s. Plan to do some breeding. Was thinking sponge filters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the racks. I really hope you ordered those racks through my affiliate link. That would be cool if you did. Does that sound vain? I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just trying my best here. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm sorry about that. Let me backtrack. Hey, man, those racks are awesome. And I'm jealous of all this freaking space you got. Oh, man, I did it again. Okay, your basement looks rad. Your fish tank racks look awesome. And that's great. Let me answer the question that you asked. All right, new tanks. Any suggestions on how to filter and light? Okay. Now, with these tanks right here, my recommendation on lights, I know that it sounds ridiculous, but I would go with the Fluval 3.0s. I just would. Mainly because the expandability of anything that you could ever do, like down the line, like maybe you wanted to do all these as planet displays, you'd be ready to go. So like the 48-inch one would do both tanks. So if you got 1, 2, 6 of those, would be awesome. Now, if you just need some utility light just to be able to see in, I would just go to the hardware store and get some cheap overhead lights, basically, and don't worry about that. I would just say to basically get some cheap overhead lights from the hardware store, and that'll be good if that's the deal. Now, as far as filtration goes, I 100% recommend running sponge filters on an air pump. I would get a linear piston air pump. I would run air lines through and run sponge filters if you're going to be doing this as a breeding situation. Like I said, if you're going to stick with it being a breeding situation and you're not going to aquascape them or anything like that, then I would just get some utility lights from the hardware store, just those plain old utility like T8s or whatever, just whatever's on sale, whatever they got cheap there, just to keep the costs down and then focus on your breeding. But yes, sponge filters with an air pump is 100% going to be the way to go. That's just going to be the way. It's just the most economical way to filter all of these tanks. I know it is kind of a pain to take sponge filters out and change them and clean them and do all that kind of stuff, but it's going to be long run. You're going to be the happiest with, an air pump and and sponge filters. Devin Pepper's asking, do Fluval 3.0 48 and sponge filters, do Fluval 3.0 48-inch and sponge filters and AquaClear hang-on back with pre-filter sponge. I realistically would do that. In that way. Aqua Stressed is asking, how does anyone afford Fluval 3.0? I think the issue with that is that you're in Australia. So for whatever reason, I've noticed that the Fluval line is super, super, super expensive in Australia. It's not as expensive in Europe and America. So I think that's the big deal. The big Fluval lights are like, I think after tax they're like $180 or something like that. But they're going to last years and years, and you're not going to have to worry about them. You can change the spectrum on them. They have a timer on them. They're Wi-Fi controlled. There's a bunch of stuff that goes into it that actually makes them really, really, really worthwhile. And yeah, how do we get there? I save my money. I've been hammering away, going crazy, you guys, because I'm buying another 120, and that's going to be over $1,000 for another one of those tanks. So I hope you guys are excited for that, because I've been busting my hump to be able to get the right tanks into my fish room and be able to share the experience of setting those up. It's been probably 15 years in the making to be able to get some 120s. And to be brutally honest with you guys, I am really, really tired right now. But I'm probably going to fall asleep on the car ride over to my mom's house, and with any luck, I'll be able to just chill out this weekend a little bit get some rest and get rejuvenated back for Monday. But yeah, I've been, it's just what it is. It's like I've been working out in the 9,500 degree weather, doing all sorts of crazy stuff, getting dirty, doing all that, and saving my money, saving it up, and doing everything I can to put it back into making this channel better for you guys. And I just got like all teary-eyed or something. I don't know what my deal is. I'm emotional. I'm gonna be a dad soon, you guys. So it's emotion time. It's not that bad. Did I fall asleep? It's one of those deals. I know that flu ball is super, super expensive in Australia. I don't know why. I'm not privy to why it's so much more expensive in Australia than it is here. I just don't know. It's probably some import thing or something like that. I would love to be able to go down to Australia at some point in time and try and figure out what products work down there and be able to give better advice to people. That's also a lot of money. So, as I said, I've been working super hard to get this another Germany trip where we're going to actually just go and film stuff for you guys and try and encounter as many of the cool German fish keepers and stuff like that we can. And that is happening. As I mentioned, threw all my money down on another tank. I'm just doing everything I can to put money away for the daughter coming too and being able to keep being able to do this show and stuff. So I don't know. Let me just trail off and transition poorly into, oh, hey, Steven Skoglund put in a post here, and we'll just talk about that for a minute. Right on. Because he even sent us in a picture. I like it. I can still see your sponge filter back here, but you did a pretty darn good job hiding it in a 2.5 gallon tank, you guys. You got to keep in mind, this is a 2.5 gallon tank. This is a scape that you could set up that's 2.5 gallons. This thing could just be on your desk, This thing could be on your desk at work. If you're like one of those people that has a desk at work, that's something that you could do. You know what I mean? Oddball Aquatics says, once the baby girl gets here, we can just watch Joel sleep on the stream while we all chat, because he's going to be tired like crazy. I had my daughter 3 years ago, and I still don't feel like I've slept. Yeah, I'll figure it out, you guys. I'm going to be okay. Steven was mainly asking, he wants to keep it cold water. What could I put in it? I am terrible for giving recommendations for cold water tanks. I'm going to be really honest with you, because I'll be like, mountain minnows, goldfish, like cold water stuff. Most of the stuff that I know that's cold water around here is, big stream tanks. You're going to need a lot of flowing water and stuff, and they're definitely not a 2.5 gallon. If you're thinking cold water in the fact of like it's just room temperature, bear in mind most of our room temperatures are good for just about anything. Like most of our room temperatures are somewhere in the range where things are going to work fine. So that was definitely one of the things that I picked up on one of the breeders we went to a while back. I don't know when, but he was talking about how he doesn't have a heater or anything in there anymore. He's just allowing the temperature swings of what goes on. And his breeding has gone way up. Mainly because the fish are just like, oh, hey, it's springtime now, time to breed. Or like, hey, it's fall time now, it's time to breed. They're definitely just going with no more heaters anymore. And inside of our house, you're going to be pretty darn close to what will be good for them. Just about anything, realistically. Jamil Muhammad says, just a question, man. I wasn't sure if I could post videos on Patreon. Sorry for the cloudy water. I left the light on too long for a couple of days. Yes, Patreon is a great place where you can post your YouTube videos and stuff like that. Like, let's say your channel's pretty small and you're like, hey, man, I want some people to check out my video. Or you have like a really cool project and you just want people to check it out. You can do that. There's no way to post, like, for you guys, there's no way to post a video, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just going to automatically play, but you can do what was done. Hold on. How do I do this? Here. And post the link to the YouTube video, and you can just share it out there and let people know, and they can go and check it out, which is great because hopefully, you know, I mean, you guys have great projects and stuff like that, and it's a great place, a great way to be able to share it out. Got a bit of a community going here. Let's try to keep the community growing, you know, and it's just going pretty darn good. 54 Punchy says, I just use magic. Don't need that darn @ sign. Oh, how to tag people. If you, how to tag people into chat, use the @ symbol. And then let's say, yeah. And then it'll actually just click it up. And then you go, hey, hey. That's for Philip. What's up, dude? What's up, dude? Dude, what are you doing? Enix Sound says my 4 T5 bulbs keep my 75 Mabuna tank around 80 degrees, which, yes, that sounds about right. One of the reasons I don't use T5s anymore is they get too freaking hot. But our boy Mike Howie, mhowie9, throwing down, no barn update this week. This past weekend, I went to the 9th Annual Marine Breeding Initiative workshop. Above are a couple pics from the workshop and surrounding events. The highlight for me on Sunday was when we were able to take a behind-the-scenes tour of Sea Life, Michigan, and my daughter was able to feed the sea turtle. Having been attended all 9 of these events, I am the treasurer of the club that puts on the event. It's truly amazing how far the aspect of the hobby has come. 9 years ago, we were talking about clownfish and how to build a fish room to now breeding tangs, angelfish, and other species that were once thought unattainable. To anyone interested, below is a video, some highlights of the event. I highly recommend you guys check that out. That event looks amazing, and I'm kind of pissed I didn't get invited or get to go, because I didn't even know it was happening until after the fact. So this is me being super mad at Mike for not telling me. Even he's the treasurer, you know. Haley Cox from Oddball Aquatics posting an update on the 3 out of the 4 rope fish. Agree hanging out on the turtle dock is the best until mom turns on the light, and then everyone scatters and runs away back into the tank. Definitely love it. Love hearing about these rope fish. I love to hear how well that they're doing, and it's great. It's such a rare fish. Like, people don't keep them, you know. Andre Sal throwing down an awesome picture. Like, dude, this is. If you're looking to get some pictures of your fish, just emulate this. This is pretty much exactly how you want to get it. And just amazing color, amazing fish, and definitely dig it. Like, that's quite the contribution. Whew. Monster fish. Dig them. Pamela Earlywine saying, I don't want to hear anyone complaining about making messes. I was on a mission to feed my fry microworms this morning, and I tripped. Stinky microworm culture globs scattered all over my living room, globs spread around the carpet, gobs of slimy oatmeal, and microworms dripping down the front of a cabinet, even globs dripping down through a wall hanging my daughter just gave me for my birthday. I think I need a cup of coffee. 54 Punchy going strong, making the big disaster, you know what I mean? Uh-oh, what's going on over here in the chat? Let me check out up here. Just caught FedEx tossing my delivery from my front gate 15 feet onto my porch. Caught and recorded on video. Sorry, it just happened. Oh, sorry to hear that. Not all the delivery guys are perfect, though. But Pamela, a.k.a. 54 Punchy, I'm sorry to hear that this disaster went all over your living room. That microworm culture is crazy. And another post from Pamela, which is wild. It's admittedly wild. South of Cheyenne. You guys ever been to Cheyenne? Hey, babe, you ever been to Cheyenne? No. Wyoming? No. Yes, you have. Have I? Yes, I took you there. She said she's never been to Cheyenne, except we were there. So.
Okay, then yeah. I've been there.
Look at those tiny pants! Tiny pants! Let me see those. Those are some tiny pants. Anybody see those tiny pants? Oh my gosh. Tiny pants freaking me out. But Vicky said she's never been to Cheyenne, even though we were there together. We drove through there, hung out for a little bit. We weren't there for very long, so I don't blame her for forgetting. But south of Cheyenne today, they had to bring out the snow plows on the hill east of Laramie as well. Thunderstorm rolled through just east of town, dropping 2-inch hail. Gotta love Wyoming. And by the way, I love Wyoming too. I gotta love Wyoming because I gotta love Wyoming. I don't know about the Cheyenne part. It's all flat there, though. It's weird. You know, I don't know. It's weird out in there, out in the Cheyenne part. It's all kind of flat and windy. We have Jake Hussey. Husey? Jake Husey? I don't know. Recently just picked up a 1,000-gallon tank. It's plywood wrapped in fiberglass with an acrylic front. Planning on getting it to display tank quality with a hood and cupboards. The front of the tank isn't the nicest due to its texture of the fiberglass. It's a bit bumpy, and the paint is chipping, flaking. Do you have any tips for sanding back the fiberglass and painting it? What to use for sanding it, methods, etc. Also, what paint is best suited? Any extra tips on cleaning up the acrylic is also appreciated. Okay, I can't give you the best advice here, but Mountain Man Dan was asking a picture would be nice to see what was going on. That's for sure. So cleaning up the acrylic, I can help you with. That is something I can do. Just basically, you know, you're going to need some polishing wheels, and you're going to need some 2-part buffing compound, and then you're going to need a lot of elbow grease and patience to clean up that acrylic. You're going to have to buff out all of the scratches and all that kind of stuff. You start in a corner and work your way through it. It takes a long time, but it is well worth it. You know, once your acrylic's polished up and looking shiny, it is definitely worth it. Now, fiberglass, so it sounds like the smooth side of the fiberglass is basically inside the tank, probably so that it's easier to clean the inside. That's probably what's going on, and Man, last time I painted the bumpy acrylic part, I basically scuffed it with basically like a big dish brush. You know, like those dish brush with the handle on it, but it's a big one that's like about this big, and it's got the bristles going straight down. And it's called a deck brush. It's normally for cleaning. Like you put down a bunch of soapy water on your concrete and you use it like a broom to clean stuff off. We knocked it all off with that ahead of time, and then I used a paint sprayer. So I don't even know what exactly the process is supposed to be, because this wasn't a display thing. This was just the underbelly of what do you call it? It was like a big well, whatever. It was just the underside of a thing. It doesn't matter really what it is. But it was the underside of a thing, and then I used my sprayer. Went through and used the recommended paint, which was just recommended by the people that wanted it painted the way that they had done it. So I don't have a ton of experience with fiberglass. I mean, I know how it's done. I've been around it. I know how to polish the shiny side, but mainly from all the boat work that I've done over the years, I know how to polish the shiny side, but I would just find somebody local that could probably help you out with the specific stuff, because you're also in New Zealand, so I don't know the best thing to give you advice on, like, what is available in New Zealand. So I wish I could be more of a help in this application. But as far as the acrylic goes, yeah, definitely get two-part compound and then buff that out with a big wheel. That part's all good and well and done. Just a warning, it's going to take a long time. Savannah Aqualama saying, hey, Joel, or anyone else who knows, quick question, how well will decent acrylic paint stick to glass long term? Acrylic paint won't stick to glass long term. It will for a little while, depending on if you've, depending on how clean you got the glass. If you get it really clean, it'll stay. But eventually it will chip and peel off. So that's just kind of a reality. That's why I say use the Plasti Dip if that's what you're going to do. Mountain Man Dan chiming in this morning saying just an updated pic of the Guppy Amano's MTS shank. That's Malaysian trumpet snails, you guys. Any comments or suggestions will be greatly appreciated. I have a few videos up on my channel. By no means am I a full-time creator, but I do plan on making and sharing some videos of my projects / experiments. Dude, love it. Love checking that out. It's awesome to see that guppy grass going at full steam, man. It must be summertime because that guppy grass is going buck wild. It's going pretty well. I have to admit, look how well it's filled in. That's all of our Patreon questions for this week. Hopefully I answered your question. If I didn't, holla back at your boy, you know? Like, let me know what's up. Let me know what's going on. Like, maybe I missed something. Maybe it wasn't that good. Definitely want to say thanks to all the patronizers out there. Everybody chipping in and helping keeping this ship afloat, man. It's a big deal. It is a huge big deal, and I thank you guys all very much from the bottom of my heart. Well, we're coming up on the end of the Friday show, and that's going to be it pretty much for today because, you know, we got other stuff we got to do. I got to drive hours and hours and hours, and let me polishing compound. So maybe you'll be able to where is it? Let me see. I'm trying to find the polishing compound for you guys. There's the white one. Aha! Okay, here we go. Here's all the acrylic, here's the links for all of the acrylic polishing compounds you could ever need. That's the one I use, and then the, where's the wheel I normally use? This is the one. Whoop. Nope, that's not the one. Not that one. Where did it go? There it is. That's the one I want. So, and then here is... This is one of the polishing wheels that I use, but not exclusively. You're going to have to kind of figure out exactly which ones that you like to use. But that one I've used quite a few times and has worked out quite well. Oh my gosh, we've got a $20 super chat from River Life. Thank you very much. Daniel Fishkeeping Admin, may I get the GoFundMe link for the wee guy, please? I can actually do that myself. I think. Highlight. Copy. Paste. Boom. There it is. There's the GoFundMe for Caleb. If you guys can chime in on that, I appreciate all your super chats. At the very least, just go over there and give him a shout. Let him know that we're thinking about him. Let him know that that we're with him, and we're hopefully, you know, we're sending our prayers, we're doing our stuff, and it'll help keep you guys appraised on what's going on. So you'll be able to check in on there and see what's happening, and, you know, help out the family. You know, it's like one of those things. If we can help the family out with just a couple of bucks and that kind of stuff, then, you know, maybe it takes a little stress off the table for the mamas and the papas and all the people involved. So I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Thank you, everybody, for patronizing. And double thank you, or I guess just an additional thank you for Aquastress for your super chat, Mr. Hepner for your super chat, and River Life. Thank you very much, my guy. I hope to see River Life sooner than later. It's like been forever, bro. When are we going to hang out, dude? I'll be in Germany soon, so maybe we'll hang out there. No, that's weird. Aquatic Experience is coming, though, which is good. Mountain Man Dan says sitting at Iowa 80 till morning. Gonna probably see the rain soon. Andrew McPherson showed up right at the end and said, dang, missed the whole thing. Yep, that's you got to throw down that notification bell. You got to throw down all the like buttons and all that kind of stuff. But I did get some edited videos up there for you, Andrew. If those are up, maybe check out some of the live streams from earlier this week or whatnot. This time of year is really discouraging for YouTubers, you know. It is really discouraging this time of year because the ad revenue goes way down, the views go way down. Everybody's just like, I'm out surfing. I don't have time. You know, so makes it a little bit hard. But, you know, either way, it's still good. And thanks to you guys, it's all moving right along, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And like I said, I'm excited to have announced a couple of new projects that are coming that hopefully you guys will be able to check out. And yeah, hopefully they'll be just saved forever. You know what I mean? So I'm going to talk to you all later, probably on Monday. So stay safe this weekend. Don't light off any fireworks. It's a big, huge waste of time, and you'll probably just burn your house down or your neighbor's house. And I will talk to you all later. Where does CJ hide that button?